Alright, so welcome back to this second session on the IoT. Alright, so we have seen so far, that IoT is basically of methods, a technology where using some systems you collect data through sensors and whatever. Then you transmit this data to a centralized location, cloud most of the cases. And then you use some methods, some technology to analyze the data, and based on the feedback of the analysis you take the action. All right, this action can be a robotic action, this action can be some reports, some decision making, etc. All right, so now on this collect one, so in the collection phase what you do, that I would say the 90% of the chances data collections happen through devices and sensors. There are very few cases where a human employed to connect the data. I mean, that's obsolete. It is not happening. I don't think it is happening anymore. There could be few cases where still some manual way to collect the data, but 90% cases where data being collected through some sensory mechanism or through some devices like your Fitbit, which monitor your health, GPS, the RFID card, what you use as your attendance marking systems, so everywhere you see this system which collects the data, right? And this data goes to some locations, right? So this is the first phase of the IoT. Once data collection happen, this data can be your home data, can be a car data, can be office, can be whatever. I mean, there are everywhere, right? And you collect the data through sensors and controllers. To keep the lecture very simple, I will not go to define what is controllers. Probably that may not create interest for some of us. All right, once data collection happens, the role is that we have to send the data to the centralized location. You have to communicate the data back through some communication technology. There the role comes of internet, right? That's why you call it Internet of Things, because the communication is happening over the internet. All right, so the end place where this data go and reside is with the cloud platform, private data centers, the home network. In some cases, rare cases, it can be your desktop also. It's for a small project, you can have a small server where your data is coming and being dumped to your small server. All right, so and see, it looks very simple. I'm saying sensor used to collect the data, but technology is very complex. It's saying is very easy, but once you go to the field, because I practice these things, I understand how complicated these are. Because you imagine a situation, there is a manufacturing, there is steel plant, the temperature may go up to 1800 degrees centigrade, right? And you have to capture the data from the furnace, right? It sounds very easy, but it's very difficult. There can be power generation plant where there can be a 100,000 volt of current is passing, and you have to extract the data. It's very difficult things to do, right? You imagine the data coming from the aeroplane when flight is cruising at a minus 60 degrees centigrade and at a 35 to 40,000 feet, and you need to collect the data. So it's a very complex technology because of the environment in which you will deploy your solutions are not always friendly. Home data I understand, office data I understand, your automotive data to an extent it's manageable, but there are situations where what happens. I will give you live examples. Last week itself, I just had one meeting where some agency wants to count the number of tigers in a tiger reserve, right? That what is the number of tiger, how their population are increasing or decreasing. So imagine, there's a tiger reserve, there is forest, right? There is water body, and all tiger looks almost similar, right? I know there are vision technology which help you to classify tiger from tiger, but there is a forest. You can fly a drone over the forest, but tree is there to hide the tiger, but you have to do it because that's a requirement, right? So it's very difficult things to do, but yes, technologies are there. All right, so after the communication, these are the protocols. I will not go in details. These are the different communication protocols, IoT protocols, right, which is used worldwide to design your solutions. And then comes the analysis of the data. All right, creating information from the data. Now you have data. You are sitting on the data which IoT generated and landed the data on a centralized platform. Then what? You remember machine learning? You remember deep learning? This is exactly happening nowadays because you are sitting with a generations of data with you, but what do you want to do with that data? Data is a new oil. Data is new electricity. Everybody is telling, and this is true. All right. So now what you want with that data? There could be one human and looking at the data, plotting a graph and making some senses. No, it's a nonsense work, right? That's where the role of machine learning is coming in the picture. That find a pattern in data. Imagine a situation, Amazon, the retailer, what you call the e-commerce Amazon. There was so much of data all across from every corner of the world, all demographic, all buying patterns, everything. Now they are applying machine learning to recommend you that, okay, you bought this one, you may like this, and you may happen to like their recommendation, right? And it prompt you to buy another shopping, all right? So this is what happening, the combination of IoT and AI, which is shaping, everything, all right? You analyze the data, and based on that, you basically take an action, all right? So action in terms of sales forecasting, action, if it is a factory, some input may trigger, okay, stop the conveyor belt, or those kind of things, right? So you have to take some actions, okay? So these 4 phases of IoT, where you start from collecting the data, then you transmit the data to a location, and then you analyze the data, and based on the analysis you take the action. So these are the 4 stages of any IoT project, all right? So for example, it can happen in your educational domain. Most of us in this group, I think a majority of us from education background, and we understand that domain probably the best in comparison to rest of the domain, right? So in education, you can have multiple various applications of IoT and AI. It can be from the attendance, finding attendance patterns of the students, or find the health, from the health records of the student, you can take some decision where its performance is being impacted, and you are the best one to imagine the use cases. Probably whatever I imagine may not be that appropriate, but you can do better than me. All right, so in the next phase, in the next lecture, I will try to give you example of few use cases of the IoT, and then we will move to the combination of these IoT and AI. All right, so I will end this lecture here. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you very much.